I'm Moise, and today we'll be exploring CAD. CAD stands for Computer Aided Design. It is a software that allows you to make 2D sketches and 3D parts that can be physically created through a 3D printer, router, or other manufacturing methods. CAD is essential at Time Robotics. We use CAD to plan out various subsystems on our robot before we start prototyping so that we don't have to make any edits afterward. A second advantage we have for making CAD is that we can use a 3D printer, CNC router, or other tools to make the part we designed in CAD. Finally, we also use CAD to document ideas of parts that may be usable for our final robot. Assemblies are also very important when CADing. Assemblies allow you to see how one mechanism would interact with another mechanism using constraints based on how they would act in the real world. This would allow us to know how feasible of an idea a specific subsystem or prototype would be for the final design. Now, there are a lot of CAD softwares in the world. Some are industry standard, such as Fusion 360, AutoCAD, or SolidWorks. However, while being very good tools, they can be a little complex. Because of that, we use a software called Onshape, which is web-based, meaning we don't have to download any software. Onshape can be accessed on various devices, but we'll be using a computer for this video. Let's make an account. The account can be made at a link I will leave in the description. You can make various types of accounts, but if you're a student, you can also make a free account, so don't forget to pay the educational account. You should also ask your parents for help when signing up because the process can be rather confusing. To create your document, you will see a tab like this one. Here are some tools that you can use, but mostly these are the ones you can only use when you have a 3D part already there. So to get started, we will use the sketch tool to start a sketch, and then you get to pick a plane to start to do the sketch on. So I top plane since I'm just doing one surface. And you can easily move around by right clicking if you're using a mouse, or double clicking if you're using a trackpad and just moving around. Or you can click on a side of the cube to select that side. And you can use the scroll wheel to scroll in or out. I highly suggest using a mouse, so it's really easy to use. Another thing about Onshape is once you can hover over any tool and it will give you steps on how to do it. For example, this creating center point circle, once I was hovering over it, it gave me the steps on what to do and all that stuff. So here it says click to indicate the starting center point, and then click to indicate the radius point. So I want the center of the circle to be the middle of the plane, and I can dimension the radius easily by using the dimension tool here and clicking on the outline of the circle. And I want this to be 5 inches. You can also use centimeters by easily typing in 5 centimeters, but the default is Onshape's default is inches, so we're just gonna stick with inches for now. And now we can use the rectangle tool. So there are two types of rectangles. One of them is a corner rectangle, and the other is center point rectangle. So the corner rectangle, you click in one point of the circle and then the other end of the circle, and that's how you can do it. But for the center point circle, you can do that by clicking the middle of the circle and clicking the outside of the circle. It's similar to how the center point circle works. But we are not going to create both of the circles because we have another tool to show you.
a very useful one, a mirroring tool. So let's first fully dimension this rectangle, and then we will learn how to mirror. So also, if you guys want to get out of a tool, you can do so by clicking escape or re-click on the tool you are using at the moment. And I want it to be I'm not actually putting in dimensions that I want. I'm just putting in random dimensions to just constrain it, because I don't want this to be accurate. So now, since we have that done, and we're going to use the mirroring tool, we don't need this rectangle. And you can easily delete sketches by clicking on the line and then clicking delete or backspace. Or if there is a lot of stuff, you can just right click and you can either you can left click and then drag and then click delete or backspace on your keyboard. Now the mirroring tool is here. You can see it in the sketch and outside of the sketch, so you can mirror 3D parts as well as sketches. And for that, you just have to click a line, and you just have to click the lines and shapes you want to mirror, and the shapes will come on the other side. Oh, I'm sorry. I accidentally made this line the mirroring line. So I want the mirroring line to be the center line, and then I want this to be mirrored over. Now we have the other rectangle, and then we are going to add a 3-point arc circle for a little smiley face. You can do that by clicking 2 points across and then just dragging it outward or inward to create the size, and do the same thing for the other part. And it might be kind of hard to dimension this, but you really just have to dimension this like this. The dots, you don't have to worry about the circles, you can just do the dots. And then you can use the constraining tool to constrain this to dot to the middle line. And do the same thing here. And then dimension this to dimension tool, and then dimension this. And this, and there you go. Now you have your 2D sketch done, but how do you make it into a 3D sketch? That's actually really easy. You can do that by creating the extrude tool, which just makes it solid, and you can increase or decrease the height by either using the arrow or typing in a dimension there. And I want this to be I want the dimension to be 0.25, since I don't want to use a lot of it. Now you have your smiley face, and guess what you can do to it? You can 3D print it, or you can use another manufacturing method to make it. Before we end off, I want to show you guys how to create another part studio. But before we do that, this part is called part 1 right now. You can easily rename it by double clicking on the part 1 and then clicking rename, and then typing in the name you want. In this case, I'm just gonna write smiley face. So in the assembly, when you insert it, you can easily see that it's a smiley face if you have a lot of objects. And you can also rename the Part Studio, so when you download it, you can see what it is without having to look back and forth. Smiley face. And now, to show you how to do the Revolve tool, we are going to create another Part Studio, and we can do that by clicking on the plus sign and then clicking Create Part Studio. And we're also going to rename this to Circle, well, Ball, because that's what we can make. Now, for the circle, for the Revolve tool, you basically do the same things until we got to the part where we made it into a 3D part. So first we're gonna start off by creating a line, and then we are going to use a 3-point arc circle to create the circle, and you can constrain it by constraining this point to the circle and then constraining this. Oh, I'm sorry, dimensioning this. Now, there you go. And then just dimension this. Oh, I'm sorry. So, why is this circle blue? Let's find out. Let's drag it. Oh, as you can see, you can drag it anywhere on this axis. And you can easily solve that problem by constraining the dot to the middle point. Dot to the line there. And it's black. So now you can either exit the sketch by clicking the check and then revolve using the Revolve tool, or you can directly just click on the Revolve tool here. And you click on the face you want to revolve, and you select so this is the face, and the revolve axis, I want this. As you can see, you have your ball. So you can actually just 3D print a ball without even leaving your house.
Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions or just want to say hi, email us at frc5587@gmail.com. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can watch our future videos easily. Happy CADing, and make sure to keep a lookout for future CAD videos.